If you're here with us, welcome to Atlanta Healing Community. Welcome outside in nature with us.
Yes.
I'm actually sitting with one of my favorite people in the world today. I got the Red Rebel.
Ditto.
And today we just talking about basic money mindsets.
Yes.
While we out in nature, because why not?
Right. This is where we belong.
Right, and you need to go get some nature too. And why your money ain't up? Get your money up, not your funny up.
All right now.
And when it comes to getting your money up and not your funny up, I got one of the best people to talk about that with.
Yes.
So, your brand is Red Rebel,
Yes.
right? Can you what exactly does that include?
So, Red Rebel Inc. has 4 arms. We have Red Rebel Consulting, which includes credit repair, both personal and business. We also have a real estate arm. We have a tax preparation, tax planning arm. And then we have a financial planning. So that includes life insurance, estate planning, wills, retirement, stocks and bonds, all of those things. So we are a full service consulting firm.
Okay, so from down to one individual who might want to fix their finances to somebody who may be fully evolved, already
Right.
operating, that wants to correct the structure or get more things added on to what they're doing.
Right.
Okay, so yeah,
Correct.
full range. Why? What made you decide to go into this area?
Well, a few things. I'm a preacher's kid, so I was raised in the nonprofit sector. My parents are missionaries, and we have a church in the poorest zip code in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
So I grew up, I always say I got the best of 3 worlds. I
Mm.
grew up, I like to say I grew up in the poorest zip code because that's where I spend most of my time. You know, I'm
Right.
a preacher's kid. You at church 6 days out of the 7.
And you going to both services on
And
Sunday.
right. And you stand wherever you at through between both services.
And you in the choir. And you a usher.
Come on now. So through all of that, I really had a love for my community, like my dad did. He grew up in Claiborne Homes projects.
Okay.
So
That's in Tennessee.
in Memphis,
Okay.
in Memphis, Tennessee, it's torn down now, so they have other places, but everybody knows it's a historic project in Memphis. So seeing the poverty that we were around,
Right.
that was always very interesting to me. Also, being a little black girl with a 2-parent household where my parents were able to set us up where I got a scholarship to go to private school.
Okay.
And I was one of 3 black children in my whole school. So
Mm.
I saw that world where I had peers coming to school with cars that cost more than my parents' whole salary for the year.
Okay.
And my parents would say that openly. And then they, had the newest phones, and it was just different.
Was that challenging? Do you feel like it was challenging to your childhood, or do you feel like you needed that experience, basically?
Definitely needed that experience.
Okay.
I'm very grateful for my childhood. Like,
Okay.
it molded me to be the beautiful, well-rounded woman that I am today. Like, I know that because of my childhood, I see people.
Okay.
I don't necessarily see objects. I see hearts.
Mm.
And I'm so grateful for that. Like,
Okay.
that
It
sets
teaches
me
you
up.
some empathy, some humanity. Do you think that people who are given a lot of things at birth or at a very young age don't or lack a sense of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so. That's why I say the best of 3 worlds, because I never fit in either.
Right.
Intentionally, every day at school, I sat with a different person, because even being in that private school, you had different cliques, and you had other kids from different walks of life. Like, you had the cool kids, you had the jocks, and I was so heavily involved. I was in all the sports. I was a student ambassador, so
Okay.
I wasn't necessarily popular. I was just, kind of that token black girl, because I was real versed.
Okay.
I was well-rounded. I could articulate myself well.
So you can go anywhere and adapt, basically.
I could.
Okay.
I could hang out with the president and be with the the president of the school or the dean, if you will.
Okay.
And then I could also talk to the incoming students about, how this school would be a great opportunity for their child.
So the main reason you got into the finance background is because you wanted to basically help people.
I did. I do.
And why is finance, in your opinion, one of the best ways to help people, other than the fact that everybody money hungry?
So not just the fact that everyone's money hungry, but growing up, I realized because let me take a step back. I did go to college, and initially I was going to go to law school.
So you was gonna be a lawyer?
I was going to be no. I was not going to just be a lawyer. I was going to be a judge. And my
Oh,
grandmother
man.
would always say, "Oh yeah, my granddaughter's going to be a lawyer judge.
A lawyer
judge." So I was a philosophy, political science double major.
Okay.
Health issues prevented me from going on to law school because I got really sick my junior year. But with that, it's just systems. I'm very intrigued by systems
Okay.
and the systems that are at play in this matrix.
Right. It's a lot of them.
There are a lot. So you have the penal system or the criminal justice system for one, and that's one that I thought I wanted to get into, and then I met my child's father, and that kind of veered my way of thinking as well, because I'm like, this system isn't all just, and I
Right.
don't know if I can work within this system.
And they don't have our best interests.
And they don't have our best interest. It's doing
Okay.
exactly what it's supposed to be doing. The
Right.
system isn't broken. So
Mm.
outside of that, I was like, okay, we still need resources, and my whole purpose, I know, is to help people.
Right.
So with that, let me learn this financial system that everybody think. And I'm a rebel.
Okay.
I'm a red rebel. Okay.
All right.
So I wanted to understand the systems in which we had the resources, for lack of better words, to be like them.
Okay.
Where we didn't necessarily, we could build our own selves up, and we could get our own selves out of ruts, and we could rebuild our own communities, and we could figure out the cheat codes and the tax codes and the things like that to assist us in giving back and building resources for our community. So that was the system. I wanted the money.
Right.
And learn the money. Like, you know how they sometimes say follow the money?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do.
Well, yeah, I think that's interesting too, because a lot of times when it comes to the black community or impoverished communities, it's always a lack of education or lack of knowledge or a lack of resources when it comes to certain things, and it kind of feeds the criminal justice system, like you was talking about.
It goes hand in hand.
So, do you think that the financial sector of business is just as the same way as the criminal justice system, that is, as it has its the segregation, basically, its biases and things like that, and is it easy to overcome those and learn? Because they say money don't have a color. Well, money color is green, right? So you can be black and still learn all the tax codes and beat the system.
Right.
So is it just like a lack of knowledge that we don't have, or we can still have these same opportunities if we have the right information?
Unfortunately, I think for us, it takes a little bit more than knowledge.
Okay. Straight.
It takes. Okay. Bet. It takes mental fortitude. It takes resilience. And it takes the application of the knowledge,
Okay.
the know-how, because because I'm self-taught. I've bought into some of the gurus and the coaches and things like that, but my parents didn't teach me credit. They told me to stay away from credit. They said credit was bad and don't open a credit card.
And a lot of people hear that too.
Exactly.
Growing up, do you think that we were given the wrong information about money?
We were given fear.
Okay.
We were given fear tactics because our parents didn't necessarily know the information. They were just going on whims. Like, these are things that were not necessarily passed down to our generations. And some are very taboo and new to our parents.
That's true.
So with that, it was almost like, I don't really know what to tell you.
Right.
So with them not even having the words to tell us, it's like, stay away from it because I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I guess that depends on a lot of different things. Like, we are entrepreneurs.
Right.
I don't know how many business owners are
Right.
in your background. I don't come from a family of entrepreneurs. I come from a family of workers, thugs, and drug dealers. Like, they dealing with cash money.
Right.
And $100,000 is like the world to them.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm in the entrepreneur world. I'm like, $100,000 just mean I'm going in the right direction to
And
make
that's
$100
it.
million.
Yep,
You see what I'm
yep.
saying? So I guess it's different mindsets about money,
Yes.
even when it comes to us being expected to work 40 hours a week
Come on now.
and work for 40 years, 60 years to be able to actually make a living. And then now we get into a time where people are making tens of millions of dollars doing very little to nothing.
Right.
So it's starting to change the way that we see money.
Yes.
Do you think it is difficult for people to make a lot of money, or do you feel like it's easier for people to take the conventional route and work a 9 to 5 and go with something that's a little bit more safe?
It depends on your mindset.
Okay.
It all stems down to your mindset. Just like as we are around this water and I see the water flowing,
Right.
I believe that's how life is supposed to be. That's how easy currency and money is supposed to flow through us as God-bodied individuals, as living organisms. Things are supposed to flow freely. And when you believe such, then it does such.
Right.
If you believe that money is tied to stress, or it's just to pay bills, or if you get anxiety around the thought of anything monetary or things like that, then that's the type of energy you attract when it comes to that. If you believe that money comes to you in increasing quantities from multiple entities on a consistent basis, then that's how money will treat you. It's a relationship. So I was not brought up in the mindset that money flows. I come from a lower middle class family where shit was tight sometimes. Like, my parents made fun of me because I actually thought we was kind of poor.
Well, wouldn't that also kind of, to go back to your point a little bit, but would that include that there's possibly what is the purpose of money? Or again, is that based off mindset? What do you feel like the purpose of money is?
I feel like the purpose of money is to be a tool. It's to be a resource.
Right.
It's to be a stepping stone to obtaining whatever it is, the purpose that you feel that you should be obtaining in your lifetime.
Right.
For anybody, that can be a number of things, whether that is wealth or, freedom, whatever that means for you. I feel like money is a tool to obtain that.
And I agree with that too, because I was talking about money with somebody recently, and I was talking about the value of money, and I said money doesn't have value.
Nope.
What you spend the money on has the value.
You give it the value.
Literally, you give it the value based on. So if somebody say this jacket worth 100 of that, you gonna go work hard because you want that. You want the
Right.
jacket, you want the
Right.
lifestyle, you want whatever you're trying to accomplish.
Right.
And money is the tool that gets you that. You're not
Right.
focused on the money. You worry about what the money can get you.
you.
So I guess that's where it goes back into like the mindset that we have around money. Some people feel like money is a survival tool. Some people use it to have fun. So
Survival tool. That's a big one. Because that's the majority of our community, unfortunately.
because they only make enough to survive.
Exactly.
It's a scarcity mindset.
But because it's a mindset.
Right.
So I come from the thrifting era before thrifting was hot.
But couldn't it also be a lifestyle? Like, if you never seen nobody make that kind of money, because it's hard to be something you never seen.
It is.
Or you gonna be the first one because you see it in your head.
Yes.
But then you still need an example, and you usually gonna surround yourself with other millionaires, and you're gonna change your environment ideally to get that mindset. But what about the people who never are exposed to a different environment or a different mindset to be able to think outside of those conditions, and they can't see money as anything else because their whole life they've only seen money as this tool for survival?
I believe, because I didn't grow up, besides being warranted the opportunity to go to private school, and then also, let me give my parents props. We traveled.
Okay.
So although we traveled on a budget and we packed sack lunches, and we better not ask for nothing when we go to the amusement park.
Don't touch that when you come in the store.
Don't none of that. Like, we had hot dogs in the cooler, and we ain't getting this high amusement park food. They made sure to expose us. Like, that was very much so an intentional thing. Spring breaks, we took trips. They wanted us to see the world.
Right.
And that I appreciate, because it made me see how small the world was. So anytime I couldn't tap into something mentally, I knew to go find it.
Right.
I knew it was out there. I knew it was obtainable.
Right.
Even if I didn't see it in my vision firsthand, I knew it's somewhere. Somebody doing what I see in my head. Somebody, they might not be doing it how I foresee it, but it can be done.
Okay.
So with that, I kind of use that exposure to seek out some of the things that I knew I wanted for myself. And I got pushback from my parents.
Yeah.
Because I got
They have expectations and stuff that they want for us too.
Exactly. We just want you to be stable. We just want you to, get you a good job.
And you want to take risks.
Yes,
right.
and because I don't want to live like y'all.
And I got
respectfully.
I got a godmom like that too, and she's very successful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's been a VP for Turner Sports.
Okay.
Like, she's done big things.
Okay, godmama.
Right. And she's been a major influence in my life. And then I'm like, I want to be an artist. And she like, yeah, but keep going to work. You know what I mean? I'm like, I want to start a business. Maybe you need to. And it's like, I know she doesn't doubt my abilities.
Right.
But, and as I went through those experiences, it's like, okay, it's a way to do things, to be strategic about it. And you made me think about that when you was like, well, my family traveled, but we had stuff in the car. We had coolers, so they were being resourceful.
Yes.
Just because we got money don't mean we going out and we wasting it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people who waste money don't even have money to waste.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that's, again, the mindset that comes with money. Most people get it and it's spent before they even got
Right.
it. And then they don't spend it on things that are going to make them more money or make them a better person.
It's not an investment.
Right. And a lot of times you can invest money into your mindset, into yourself, so you can go out and make more money and be more valuable.
Yes.
Because money flows where value is.
It does.
So I think that's just important. So how can you identify a healthy money mindset?
Well, and as you were talking, the word that my mama ingrained in me is frugality. Because I think one person called her cheap. And she so intelligently and diplomatically corrected them and was like, no, I'm not cheap. I'm frugal. And I built a relationship with that word.
Okay.
And that word has gotten me to that point, because being frugal also means being responsible.
That's very true.
And it means being a good steward of God's resources. So understand that's where the relationship with money comes in.
Right.
Because you understand it's a tool. And everything that's given to you, you also give it back to God. So we're here to serve, and we're here to live our purposes. You understand the responsibility with having your finances, with just being able to pay your bills. You understand, like, okay, I can do this. Let me be responsible, or let me be a good steward, and let me use this in the correct way. So going back to, how we spend it and what we do with it, that frugality, that having that responsible mindset and understanding how money flows, and the investments and the relationship that we have with it, it it's a whole thing, like
Right.
from mind to hand
And
as we spend.
I like the way that you put that too. Even when you talked about utilizing your resources for God, and it just made me question like, does the does our finances is our finances a reflection of our relationship with the Creator?
Oh yes,
And
I'm
I
a
was
firm
like,
believer.
and I was thinking, I'm like, well, I guess it is because, you know, if you got $10 or you got some money to go get some food, and it's like, do I go buy something that's gonna make me lazy
Yes.
and fat,
Yes.
and because I got the money, or do I still eat healthy so I can have energy and go do what
Come
what
on
God
now.
is calling me to do?
That'll
So,
cook.
I think money is a tool, you know, just like food is a tool.
Yes.
Just like everything in our life is a tool.
It is.
And how you do anything is how you do
one
everything.
thing. Mhm.
So if you have a bad relationship with money, you probably have a bad relationship with people,
And time
and time, and probably with yourself.
Come
you
on
see
now.
what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people want to be successful and they want to be rich,
Mhm.
but they're not internally rich.
Yes.
And they're lacking things in their mindset.
Right.
So what is a way that a person can shift? Let's say, you know, they struggling, they tired of being broke, they tired of being poor, they got more problems than solutions, and they can't afford to get themselves out of them. They ain't got two nickels to rub together and a window to throw them out of.
Mhm.
What should these people be doing?
So first, I wanna share this message that my so wise neighbor, Baba Raxton. He's a Rastafarian.
We love them.
Yes, and I love to sit under him as he plays his djembe. He always shares wisdom, but he told me, he said, Candace, because that's how you say my name. He said, you have problems that you already have solutions to, and you have questions that you also already have the answers to. It's up to you to execute the answers to your questions and the solutions to your problems. So I'm a piggyback there because I'm gonna let that resonate. But also with that, you have to begin to visualize things before they come to fruition. So even as a financial advisor and wealth coach, and me trying to pour into other people, and me like, all right, Lord, I'm over here, I ain't doing too good myself. Like, how can I pour? And Most High told me, do what you know to do. So that's when I get in my car and I go ride around in the neighborhoods with the big houses. And I go visualize when I can't see for myself, and if I'm having blockages and I'm meditating and I can't necessarily see those things, I go to where those things are.
Go put yourself around
You go
successful
put your-
people.
yes.
Go talk to them and figure out.
And if you don't
their
know
mindset.
any, go to a library, a Starbucks,
Go
be
to YouTube, because that's a problem that I
YouTube
have.
University.
No, for real, because people sit on social media all day. People consume content all day.
You're right.
So if you want to be successful,
You're right.
but you're not consuming
Yes.
financial literacy content,
Yes.
if you're not watching hour-long videos
Yes.
on success mindsets,
Right.
on building a business, on what it takes to start an LLC, we are our own problem.
We
so
are.
if you have that's the thing. We talked about it, and our parents maybe went through it differently, right? They
Right.
didn't have the internet.
Right.
If you was broke and you seen broke people, all
Yeah.
you knew was broke.
Come on
right?
now.
But now we can see something different.
Yes.
We can experience something different. And now we don't have to go to a library and read
Right.
100 books to get this
You're
information.
right. You're right.
We can get the information in a split
You're so right.
second. So I'm at this point where it's like, if people are broke, if people are sad, if people are going through things in this generation, it's likely because they're choosing these
You're right.
experiences, and they don't want to take accountability to change their situation. So it's easier to say, if
The world messed up.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't have to deal with money.
Right.
Everything should just be free because
Yeah.
God put us on this planet.
Right.
Ideally, yeah, you're right. That
Right.
would be nice, but
it
that's
doesn't
not the
work that
reality.
way.
And that's
Yeah.
not reality.
No, it's not.
And maybe we can change it over time.
Right.
But what are you valuing with your time still?
Right. What are you feeding yourself?
Right.
Because what comes out is what you're feeding yourself.
Absolutely.
You can only put out what you're getting in. So you are so 100% correct when it comes to YouTube University, and that's honestly what I did. I started looking up. You know, Steve Harvey was one of my favorite motivational speakers because he would talk about how he came from nothing, and I grew up watching Steve Harvey like he was my uncle.
Right.
So that was one, just seeing his transition and him marrying a good old Memphis woman.
Okay.
and all of that really resonated with me because I felt like I was hearing from my uncle. So hearing his story and a lot of the money mindset and wealth tactics that he taught about, because he lived in his car. So he also spoke about going into those neighborhoods, being around those different people, going to networking events, just watching things, watching the lifestyles that you wish to live over and over again, immersing yourself in those. How do those people act? How do they speak? How do they dress? What are some of the things that they said they did to reach those goals?
Am I willing to do those things?
Come on
Right.
now.
'Cause sometimes a lot.
Are you ready to make those sacrifices to reach those goals? Because if you listen, a lot of those people made immense sacrifices. They made major changes, lifestyle changes. They may have been up here and spending 6 figures a year and cut their budgets half for 2 years so that they could reach those goals. So you gotta check yourself, really.
I think that's correct. And then just to actually piggyback off of that, to take it away from the actual money and how you actually get to the money, with the mindset is, I started a brand called Spiritual Hundos because I'm like,
Yes.
you got to get rich doing what you love because that's the
Yeah.
only way that you're going to even enjoy the money anyway.
Right.
But I see that a lot of people are just focused on the money aspect
Right.
and not working on the character develop aspect.
Ooh.
And they don't know that if you develop the character that you supposed to have, the money is automatically going to come
It's
anyway.
coming anyway.
If you build the business, if you provide the value, the money is just the result of the work that you already did. So
I
you
say.
won't have to worry about money. Money
Yes.
is not the worry.
It's not.
Growing and developing your mind, growing and developing spiritually,
Yes.
emotional intelligence, and all
Yes.
these things, then the money comes to you.
Yeah.
And then when the money does come, you know what to do with it, and you're not
Exactly.
just fucking it off.
Come on now.
So I know a lot of
Yeah.
people, if you focused on money, you focused on the wrong thing.
Yes. You know, it sounds cliche, but
Yeah.
when they tell you trust the process, when I remember when the epiphany hit, when the light bulb went off in my head and I realized what that statement even meant. Because they said, trust the process, trust the process. I'm like, F the process. I'm ready to skip the line. Like, where is the other side
Give
of
me
this?
the mignon.
Give me the mignon. I don't want to struggle. I'm sick of this. Like, the process isn't fun. I remember it was about 2.5 years ago where it was like, oh, okay, the process isn't that bad. And if once you develop the characteristic of self-love and giving yourself grace and understanding, like, it's you in your own way and you have to develop certain things in order for you to even reach what you're asking for,
Right.
you begin to fall in love with that process. You begin to
Right.
fall in love with the self-help tools and the mindset strategies and the ways in which you develop your own character and worldviews for you to be able to not fumble what God is granting for you. So that is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Like, you meet your tribe, you are gifted the things in which you thought you lacked for so many years, and Most High just showers you with all the things you need in life, and you look up, and then you have everything you've been asking for. So when you trust the process and do the work that nobody wants to do, because I didn't want to do the work,
Right.
everything else does flow. It's a flowing thing. Like, it comes
Absolutely.
automatic. So
If you want more money, create more value.
yes, and the value starts up here. So how you speak to yourself, how you view yourself.
Right.
Because I realized I didn't necessarily have the best views of myself, and that was even stunting my interaction with people that would help me interact with the money.
Right.
So how can I approach multimillionaires if I don't even feel like I'm equipped to?
Conversate with them.
Come
right?
on now.
You don't know the right questions to ask.
Come on now.
Or the right way
I'm
to
not
ask
even
it.
articulate enough to even be like, we have to develop ourselves to even be in that same bandwidth of what we're even asking for. So the universe only provides us with what we are due. It's not going to give us more or less. So when you realize that value in which you seek is within you, and all you have to do is pull it out of you, then you understand.
All right, so yeah, back into the scarcity mindset. It might have just went over a lot of people's head what we were just talking about. How does somebody know if they have a scarcity mindset?
That's a good question. Because most oftentimes you don't know that.
Do you think people don't know? Well, I feel like if you feel like you don't have enough of anything, that would imply
Well,
a scarcity mindset.
You're right.
Because you really have everything you need in that moment.
You're right.
But something in that moment is telling you, I am lacking, or I am not the best version of myself because I don't have set things or set amount of dollars. And I think a lot of times we define ourselves based off of what we have or what we don't have.
Right.
And it's like, oh, I when I get rich or when I get this or when I get that,
Right.
it's like always when this happens,
Uh-huh.
instead of just being that person now.
Right.
And then allowing the money to come to you.
Right.
So,
So, if listening to what you just said, I would say most people have a scarcity mindset
right.
because we don't seek God within.
Woo! And we think God is at the end of a dollar bill or
Yep.
at the end of that dollar, because it feels like God. I ain't gonna say
Yeah.
it feel like God, but when you, let's say you just looked at your account and you got a direct deposit
Right.
for $250,000.
Like, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Right. Thank you, God. It's the first thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the first. Hopefully you thank God. You see what I'm saying? And you don't be like, oh yeah, I did it. I'm the man.
Right,
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, scarcity mindset, because we feel like we in lack.
Right.
Are we really in lack?
Never.
Never in lack.
Never.
So
Never.
even if I only got 2 pieces of bread and a bowl of
Never.
rice.
You're never in lack. And I love that because it all comes down to us. And I can say my own self-love journey kind of brought me to a lot of these conclusions because you have to be very introspective. You have to go within a lot.
You do.
And when you realize that's where God is, you ain't too scared about it.
Do you think people are scared?
Yeah.
Are they scared or, and that's just another thing that I think prevents us from making money or understanding money the way that we should, because even growing up, the focus is not learn more about yourself. Like,
No.
meditate, have a
Right.
better mindset. It's
Right.
do what you're told.
Exactly.
Follow what everybody,
Exactly.
follow the trends.
Yes.
So a lot of times when people make money or be successful,
Yes.
they're not following the trend.
Right.
They had to go against everything they believe.
Come on now.
You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people want the rewards
Yeah.
without the sacrifice that come
Right.
with it.
Right.
And is there a way to get the reward without the sacrifice?
Absolutely not.
One more time. Is there a way to get rewarded?
Absolutely not. You can listen to every, because I follow a lot of, the gurus, the coaches, and all of that. And even with them, a lot of them are preaching the overall
Right.
mass teaching a way to do. Now, I'm a little rebellious, and a lot of what I teach goes against a lot of the mass productions of teachings because it's not necessarily sound for each person. But I'm going to say this. It ain't no easy route. You got to take the stairs. And even when you think it's an easy route, just as easy as you obtain something, you will lose it just as easy.
Right.
So who wants that? We having longevity in actual wealth over here.
And most people don't value things that come easy either.
No. So they spending it just as quick.
Right. Because they gonna make it right back.
That's what they think.
In their mind. You see what I'm saying? That's what a lot of trappers do too, because it's like it's fast money.
Yep.
Just as fast as it come, as fast as it go.
Yep.
See what I'm saying? But you gotta learn how to stack it up and invest it into different things.
Let's talk about being frugal and being responsible with it.
Ooh, and that's a difficult part because I love some wings and maybe I don't need no wings because I got some food at home.
It's food at
I got some
home.
rice at home.
Come on now.
Better go. Sometimes you gotta suffer a little bit to see the bigger picture.
See, but we not looking at it as suffering.
You're right. But sometimes, like you said,
It does feel like suffering sometimes.
Sacrifice feels like suffering because I have to give
It
up
does.
something that I really want now for something that I really want later. And most people are not ready to give up the now
Yeah.
for the later. And you can't go out and party with your friends because you got to work on business for
Yeah.
3 hours.
Right.
You got to study,
Right.
so you can't do that. You got to wake up early, so you can't stay up all night.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Most people are like, well, I want that, but I don't want to do
Do it.
this.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And when you do got to do it, you like, I know I'm doing it for the right thing, but I kind of want to go have fun.
Yeah.
I want to go eat the wings. I want to eat the fatness stuff. Or I
Right.
want to waste my time. But
Right.
in reality, that's where you are growing and developing because you have to
Right.
die from the flesh.
Right.
And you have to let go of those smaller temptations, those things that don't matter,
Right.
to focus on the bigger picture.
Exactly.
So it's about expanding your vision.
And perspective.
Right. And then I guess I talked about like how fast money comes and goes because it does. Even if you work hard for it and it take forever, you still spend it fast
Exactly.
because they got to go somewhere else.
Yep.
What should people be focused on? Should they be focused on? Older generation say, save all your money, save all your money. Entrepreneurs say, don't save no money, reinvest it.
Yeah.
So should they be saving, investing it, or what should the money be doing?
So I'm a Libra, so I'm all about the balance. And that's so funny because I reached a crossroads where I had to figure that out.
Okay.
I was an avid saver, like,
That's good. It's good.
and bad.
Okay, right.
Because it reached a point for me where it was to my detriment.
How can saving be a detriment?
I realized that my saving was also tied to a scarcity mindset. It was tied to a fear of lack.
Ooh, we.
So I was saving, I was hoarding, I was stockpiling
Okay.
for a rainy day
Right.
because I didn't want that rainy day,
Right.
and not adhering to the truth that I am abundant and I never lack. So what rainy day? Am I manifesting a rainy day? Because I am.
Because
Essentially.
because with who you are, you can lose it all today and get
Yeah.
it back tomorrow.
Come on now.
Right.
Because I am who I am.
Right.
Because of I am within me.
And the money don't change you or affect
No.
who you are.
No.
Who? Why? I feel like it's difficult. I feel like, why do people let money change them? But I know why.
Oh, yeah.
But how do people get to that point when our whole society is ran literally based off finances? Could a person not be emotionally and spiritually invested in money? Because some people, they want to be successful, but they don't want to jump through the hoops and deal with all the
That's me.
the
I'm not
difficulties
selling
of
my
it.
soul for anything.
right.
So,
You're not jeopardizing your values and your morals to make money.
No.
Do you think people do that too much in this
most
generation?
definitely.
Do you think it's incentivized?
Unfortunately, yes.
So that makes it easier
To do it.
to do it, especially our people,
Yes.
because it's like you might not have killed nobody. You
No,
might,
I just showed a little cheek.
you
I
know
just,
what I mean?
I just told her
you might
too
not-
much of
yeah.
my own story.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might not you might be wholesome, and it's like, well, I might have to jeopardize. I might lie and say I'm slanging some bricks every time I make a song. It got to be gangster now. So the fact that I want to make money has affected my ability to make quality music.
Yes.
And now I have to make music that sells
Yes.
instead of focusing on quality.
Right.
Now instead of being a wholesome woman, I gotta make a living. So now I might have to pop a little something. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
For a little 40. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
That's also a scarcity mindset, if you ask me.
no, that it really is.
Yep.
That really is. Man, it's people living out of survival.
Yes.
So is the only way out of that is for them to think their way out of it?
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Because scarcity it's a scarcity mindset.
Yes.
Right? So it's revolved around how you think.
Right.
So to change that situation, you have to
Think
differently.
Yeah. So essentially, yes.
Right.
So the verse that I hold within is, so a man thinketh, so is he.
Woo. Right.
So out of the mouth flows the issues of your heart. Like I said earlier, if it ain't in you, it ain't gonna come out of you.
Right.
So and I got a lot of scripture in me, so
Ain't nothing
just
wrong with
forgive just forgive me, but you do have to think your way out of it. Yes,
That's
you
true.
have to think your way into it. So and we are all unlearning and relearning things on a consistent basis. I remember that was like one of the first things. It was something on Instagram. It's a Baba. He's a Indian guy, and he was selling the Unlearn and Relearn book. I don't know. He
got a big beard, white beard. Sarah Guru.
I think so.
Sarah Guru. I like him.
Yes,
Yeah, I like him.
yes. I actually watch a lot of his videos
Yeah.
on YouTube. Like, he is phenomenal.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He is. But that book that he was pushing really catapulted me into the lifestyle that I'm in today.
Did you read the book?
I read a little bit.
Okay.
I didn't read all of it.
I heard him talking about it on Joe Rogan podcast recently, and I was like, and Joe Rogan like, yeah, I'm on the second part. I'm like, okay, I gotta tap into his book.
Yes.
But yeah, I think that's important, and I guess it just opening up yourself to a wealth of knowledge and continually learning. And I think that stops people from being successful because they think they know enough, but you have to realize that you're always learning.
Yep.
I said the dumbest thing a person can do is think that they not learning.
Yes.
Because even when you're not learning,
You're
learning.
learning.
You learning how to not learn.
Yep.
You learning how to not focus.
Yep.
How to do the wrong stuff.
Yep.
So if you're not intentionally focusing and learning the right stuff, then you unintentionally learning the wrong stuff.
Come on now.
So it's crazy that everything that happens in society, whether it's diet, health, style, how we eat, our finances, how we feel about ourselves, how we treat other people, always boils down to mindset.
Yes.
About how we think about it, how we perceive it in our head.
You want to know, I bought into a couple of coaches when I first started into this financial literacy journey. Because I got into real estate first. And that coach I spent $750 on.
Okay.
And the first large chunk of the entire course was mindset.
Absolutely. And every course that I've taken, same thing.
So I'm going to tell you how I felt about that.
You felt scammed.
Yes.
I got bamboozled. I just paid $750 for this man to tell me to
Yes.
think different.
Yes.
Boy, I'm finna beat you.
Like, obviously, I'm already thinking different. I'm investing $750 and at this time I'm like 21.
Right.
Why I'm getting $750 for?
Right. And it's like, this is one of my last $750
Come
right
on now.
I'm already in a scarcity and I'm finna spend it on this.
Come on now. I need to be making. Can I make this next week? I need you to get to the money part because I just spent a bunch of money, and you telling me that I need to change my thinking.
And then in 2 more programs, you're going to tell me to buy something else.
Yeah, come on now. So it ended up being really good because I was so mad that I really tapped into. It was not only him. I bought it when I didn't buy into this one. It was another course that I went to. That wasn't actually free.
Right.
But he was saying and doing the same things.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, I'm on to you gurus. I'm on to you coaches.
But that's crazy that you said that too, because now if somebody invited you to a free seminar, it's a certain level of attentiveness you will have towards it and a certain commitment you will have towards it versus if you spend $750 on it, because now it's like $750. I need to get $750 worth of value out of this in some way. So now you're looking in the details. You actually trying to actively learn, even if you don't like it and things like that. And if it's free, it's like, oh, thank you, and then you just run off with the information. So people spend money on things that they value. Like if learning it is important to you, you're gonna go pay for it.
Yes.
Right.
So it was important.
It was an investment.
It was definitely an investment, and it catapulted me into doing away with my stinking thinking. Because I realized even in paying that $750 that I didn't have a wealth mindset.
Okay.
There were
you learned that in that seminar, right? About how you was thinking.
Not necessarily then. It was a little bit afterwards.
Okay.
I had to get out of my feelings.
Right.
Because like I said, those epiphanies started to form, and I was like, okay, if I'm trying to get to where they are, or not necessarily where they are, kind of, where they're going.
Right.
And they're saying that means I got some work I need to do internally. So that's the way I took that. And I started to just do some shadow work. I started to look deep within myself and see what it was that I was blocking within myself that was preventing me from being exactly who they are.
That's
if not better.
That's facts. So the key to wealth is self-work.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
This is not a game.
The ugly self-work.
This is not a game. As an entrepreneur, somebody who's been going through it for about 5 years myself, that's the biggest thing that I've been doing is cultivating my character, sharpening my skills.
Yes.
I don't watch TV like
me
that.
Either.
I might watch a movie.
That's it.
When I'm done with everything, but I'm not binge watching.
No.
I'm not staying up late at night wasting time. Like,
No.
I'm very particular about
intentional
who I spend time with, how much time I spend with them, and especially the quality of that time and what we're doing, because we can't just sit around and just be wasting time because we ain't got time. All we have is time.
Exactly.
That's more valuable than money. Is my time.
It is. That's why we're not exchanging time for money.
Right, because time is way more valuable than the money.
It is.
So I'm really giving you a discount.
Come on now. On my time.
On my time.
Come on.
And I'm trading you for the money.
Yeah.
But my time really is valueless, right? So make sure y'all doing the right thing with your time, that you're investing time into becoming a better person, having a better mindset, and I guarantee you it's going to pay off.
It does.
And it comes at the result of sacrificing and letting go of a lot of things that make you comfortable now.
Yes, and delayed gratification.
Yes.
Because you might not see it first off. You might not see it in the first month. You might not see it in the first year. You might not see it. Like, I've been an entrepreneur. I have not worked for anyone since 2018. Thank you, Most High.
Right.
But I ain't see no good. I didn't see a return on any of my investments till about the 5th year in business. And that's when they say, like, you really in business, you make it to 5 years. But I was holding on to by a thread, y'all.
Do you know the statistic of how many businesses fail in a certain amount of time frame?
Yeah. I don't know the actual statistic, but I know it's a large amount don't make it to 3 years.
Yeah, I think it's over 50%.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So most people. So if you able to even sustain to 3 or 5 years, you actually start to become profitable, right?
Yep.
And even when it comes to podcasts, they say over 80% of podcasts don't make it past the 5th episode.
Oh wow.
So it's like, how can you be successful if you're not consistent?
Yeah. Oh, you gotta be consistent.
It's not happening overnight.
Consistency is key, and that's one thing I can say. Even in the years where, the family members didn't check in, the friends and family, the close ones.
You feel all alone.
You feel very much so alone,
right.
And you're doing it. And it's like you have this vision in your head, and you're like, Lord, just keep me sane at this point.
Ooh, I feel like that is an entrepreneur's prayer right there. Lord, keep me sane and make it rain.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Keep me sane and make it rain, because you feel crazy.
Bruh.
You're going after something, and it's like, okay, I can't even, am I feeding myself?
I feel like you only deal with that if it's a new experience for you and you're not familiar with it. Mm-hmm. But if your family come from it, or you have people who are carrying you along on this path, it's different.
It is.
So that's why we cultivate in community so we can do it together. So we finding like-minded people, like-minded souls who are on the same mission as us.
Right.
We don't have all the gods and the people around us, and we don't go to our best friends. Not millionaires who just
No.
gonna make a way and open. People not just opening doors for us.
Nope.
We have to put ourselves.
We
in
can't
these
go
rooms.
borrow 10,000 from a home person, a home boy or girl, or
And that's a problem. I need better friends.
now for real.
I need some friends out there who willing to invest tens of thousands of dollars into what I'm doing. Because if I got tens of thousands of dollars and you my friend and you got a good idea, then I'm probably gonna look at it and figure out how I can invest in it.
Exactly.
Right? Because especially if I believe in you, and it's like, let's fix your plan. Maybe you don't need the
Right.
money and you need a better plan.
Right.
So back to a question that I guess we kind of dived into a little bit deep about the scarcity mindset. So we should, because you said saving was attached to a scarcity mindset.
Yes.
So we should be investing, or what, or best of
Okay.
both worlds, right? So
yes. So
how,
I said
how
balance.
should that work?
The balance. So before, I would just save.
Okay.
I would save, and of course, I was investing into my business where I needed to, but it wasn't. It was because I was fearful of losing the investments, or how I approached the different investments. Because I also was a music manager, so a part of me is I was investing into my artists.
Right.
And you can never go wrong when you're investing in people. For me,
That's a little bit tough, especially
Yeah.
when we talk about the music business.
yeah,
Because
Yeah.
I've been in that area too, and a lot of artists don't financially invest in themselves.
they don't.
And those are the ones who don't make it.
Exactly.
They're entitled artists. I call them
Exactly.
entitled artists.
They are.
They think, I'm so good, everybody just need to sign me and give me money and do everything I say.
And they're usually super angry because they're entitled and they're mad because they're not where they're supposed to be because they're asleep.
Right, that's true, right? My song good. Okay.
Okay.
Do you know how many people got a good song?
Right. You know how many people talented?
Right. And,
Yeah.
and these days, talent ain't even doing work
It's
ethic. Work ethic beats
It does.
talent every day.
It does.
Work ethic. If somebody out grinding you, they gonna beat you. They can be worse than you, but they putting in more work than you.
Right.
So
So yes, to get back to it, it's a happy balance between the saving and investing. It's the know-how between knowing that you have enough for 2 months, 2-3 months of your lifestyle put to the side to obtain, whether it's in a 401k, it's in a life insurance policy, or UIL, IUL, or a whole life policy. It's somewhere of liquidity where you can obtain it.
should they get that put to the side before they decide to invest?
Most definitely.
So you should save to a certain reasonable point, 2.5 times your income.
Yes.
To the side, and then start investing.
Most definitely.
Okay. That's
If
reasonable.
not, you investing backwards.
Okay.
And you digging a hole for yourself because investments are, they are what they are. Investment. It's a risk.
That's exactly the.
There's a risk tied to it.
It's like the stock market.
Yes.
You don't know if you're gonna see it again.
No.
It can disappear right in front of your eyes, or it can quadruple or 10-time fold overnight.
Just like my investments with people or music. I could invest into an artist and they go ghost on me and I never see them again.
Right.
They skip out on the contract. So that's with anything. You have to use some wisdom.
Okay. So a balance between investing
saving and
and investing, and then also investing in things that are going to yield a realistic return.
Right.
Doing risk assessments and seeing if it's worth you actually putting your money into
There
it.
you go, brother.
And what value are you expecting to get out of it, and not
Right.
just trying to spend money on something like a get-rich scheme.
Right.
Because if somebody's trying to sell you a get-rich scheme, that's exactly what it is. It's
Exactly.
a scheme, because there's no quick way to get rich. Right. So I guess that goes into like budgeting and like financial management, which I know our community and me in particular, like I have a hard time with it. I was just about to get somebody else to start paying my bills because I'm like, I hide the money and that rent won't get paid to the 10th because I'm too busy and I'm overwhelmed with all this other stuff.
Yes.
And I know as entrepreneurs we get overwhelmed,
Right.
and the average person gets overwhelmed.
Right.
And I also thought about it and I was like, if you can't manage your finances, you can't manage a business.
That's kind of true. That's kind
So
of true.
I'm like, it's a balance that's necessary too, as
It
far
is.
as that. So what does budgeting realistically look like, and what resources should people be using to manage their finances, and what also are the implications of not properly budgeting?
Ooh, that's a thick one right there. So, as far as budgeting, I'm still old school. I like to sometimes I like to write out my expenses on a sheet of paper and like literally food, how much, $300 to $500 a month, car note if you have one, mortgage, rents, utilities, like literally going down
Subscriptions.
Oh,
So we know y'all got 400 subscriptions. You didn't apply for the free trial. You done forgot you signed up.
Yep.
Now Apple trying to hit your card, but your card locked.
Come on now. So Apple is a problem.
Your account is boo. Don't even get me started on
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, yo, he ain't even telling you what you taking the money for.
Right, because at this point I have no idea.
And now it's say Apple Cash. Now I need to say specifically
It
the
does.
service, the billing period.
Because I'll go and dispute it. Okay.
You found the right one today, Apple.
You did.
That's funny.
Because I need to figure out what this is tied to. Because if my 4-year-old bought something, then it's getting disputed. But if it's
Right.
something I did, but anyway, so yes, go down your line item of expenses. See where your money is going. That starts right there, because a lot of us are eating our money up.
Ooh, I can't even tell you. I spent like 4 bands on food in one month.
Oh
before.
Lord.
I was just eating out so
Yeah,
much.
you need a whooping.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I did. But look, the next month I was like, I'm going to fuck you up,
Yeah.
boy. I was mad as hell.
I'm sure you
And I'm
were.
like, how you spend that money that quick?
Mhm.
Like, and I look back at it. Food. Like, nigga, ain't that much food in the world.
Yo, that, and y'all know I know, because I have so many clients where this is the issue. Honestly, I got some family members where this is the issue, and I saw it firsthand. And it's baffling to me, because I'm still a little goody two shoes who like to do the right thing with my money, and I'm frugal, and I'm the one that's like, let's split a meal, or I'm that person
Right.
that would be like, I got this at home, I don't need this, so and so. And yes, I'm that friend, and I'm gonna judge you, okay?
And we need those type of friends because they have to hold us accountable.
And
You already ain't got it. Why you out here trying to act
And
like you
will.
got it?
I ain't gonna bust you out. I'm definitely
Not in front of everybody.
No, but I'm definitely like, after you go ahead and purchase it, when we get back, I'm like, hey, that food was good, right? Yeah, you spent a whole $44 on it, and then you are eating it.
Right.
So-
And you were just complaining 30 minutes
Come
ago
on now.
that your lights was probably going to get cut
Come
off.
on now, you could have put that $44 on something more. So it's all about tying that into being a good steward, and understanding like delayed gratification. Like, yeah, that food is gonna make you happy for the time being, but you're gonna be mad as shit when your lights get cut off.
Right.
So,
Take a cheaper route and a smarter decision, right?
yes. So being realistic with ourselves, sitting with ourselves, whether that's being with our own pacifiers, with our own irresponsible habits, with our own that can and may have been passed down generationally. It's some
I feel
things
like-
that you saw your mama do.
That's a start right there.
Yes.
If you look at what your pacifiers, how much money you spending on weed, liquor,
Come on now.
sex,
Come on now. Clothes, retail, therapy, whatever that is.
and not only how much money you spending on those things, how much time are you investing into
Yes.
these things? The combination between money and time
It's
correlated to your life
Yes.
and your finances and the conditions of your life.
Mhm.
So a lot of times we have to look at the uncomfortable things.
yes.
How am I wasting my time?
Yes.
How am I wasting my money?
Yes.
And how I can make better decisions in these areas. So it's crazy because I think a lot of times we don't want to touch on them pinpoints.
We don't.
Because it's like, well, girl, I don't care. I had $20 and I was hungry, so I went and
Right.
got them wings.
Right.
But then I'm complaining later about my bills and my finances,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm complaining about not my stuff not being together, but I go home and I go play the game for 6 hours,
Right.
and you wasting time. So it's like you could have been doing something in that time
Right.
to figure out how to make more money.
Right.
So it's about just making smarter decisions, right?
Yes, it is all about making smarter decisions. So that starts with sitting with yourself, budgeting, itemizing your lifestyle, seeing where you are in that moment make a strategic pivot towards where you're wanting to go. So you can't do that until you look at yourself in the mirror and face with whatever you're going through in that time, right, in that moment.
And I love that you said that too. One word that just kicked me in my chest was strategic.
Yes.
Because even when I started, when we talk about Atlanta Healing Community or organizations we built, it's like, okay, this is a great idea.
Yes.
I want to do this. And you see the end goal. You done built the whole thing in your head. But then you get back and you like,
Ooh.
that's too much work. I don't have none of the funds. And it's like, okay, what is your strategy?
Yes.
Step by step, day by day, week
Yes.
by week. How do you make this a reality?
Yes.
And a lot of people think that they can loosely deal with money or loosely build a business, and they don't understand that everything has to be done intentionally
Yes.
and strategically.
Yes.
And calculated, really.
Yes.
So I'm learning to take more calculated risks and be
Yes.
more strategic in the things that I'm building, because that's the only way that they're going to come to life.
Yes.
And if they do come to life, I don't know what it's going to look like,
Right.
because I haven't planned for that.
Right.
So I like that you said strategic, because that has been a very big affirmation in my life, and something that the Most High has been putting on me is, damn, that was quick. That was another 30 minutes.
Damn. Oh,
It's okay. We still got audio.
Okay.
But that's another big thing, is we have to just be more strategic
We do.
about how we use our resources.
Yes. So my dad used to always say, whatever you do, do it decently and in order. And with that, we have to know that it's obtainable.
Right.
We have to know, like in our hearts of hearts, no matter what obstacle we have to hurdle over, we have to jump through, climb, and squeeze through, that what we're looking towards is obtainable, and we are going to obtain it rebelliously by any means.
I like that too, because to know it's obtainable, you have to believe in yourself.
Most definitely.
And a lot of people, they want things, or they're trying to accomplish things, but they kind of believe, they
Yeah,
don't
it's a
really
little
believe.
wavery
It's
belief.
very wavery. And it's like, well, I can do it, but I don't think I can. Or it's more doubt than belief.
It is.
A lot of people want things, but they're living in doubt.
Yep. Or fear or worry.
All scarcity mindset, all lower frequency vibrations.
Yes.
Right? So it's about being whole within yourself and attracting those things to
Most
you.
definitely.
All right, I think that is a pretty good question. I appreciate the conversation we've been having as well, too.
Yes.
Very valuable. But you said, what common perceptions about money do you think that people have about it that hold them in a scarcity mindset?
Yes. So I think there are about 3 things that keep people or hold people back from obtaining wealth.
Okay.
One is that wealth is only for certain people. God ain't make me like that. That's for them.
Right.
It's not necessarily for me, or that's them. So sometimes people have a that's them mindset. Also, that money is inherently bad.
Money is evil.
Evil.
Money
is the root of all evil.
Right. We have heard that a lot, right?
Yes, and if you so I feel like that verse is taken out of context.
Right.
And it's for the love of money
Is
the root of all evil.
Facts.
And like, just to go back to what we talked about in the beginning, if we understand that money is a tool, then we don't have a love for it. We understand that it is a tool to show love or to be the love that is already within us.
Do you think there could be a problem, people loving money?
Yeah, if they don't love themselves.
Right.
Because you're looking for something outside of you, not understanding that you're giving that money its power.
Right.
So
And taking power
and
away
taking
from
the power
yourself.
away. You come on now.
Right.
So yeah, with that, unfortunately, yes.
And you said it's 3. So what's the third one?
Inherently bad. It's not for us. And believing that it's I kind of touched on it, but it's the believing that it's something outside of self.
Right. And that's, I like that you say that too, because money is outside of self, but wealth and value is not,
Exactly.
right? And wealth and value attracts money.
Exactly.
And when you don't have wealth of self and value of self,
Yep.
you in a scarcity mindset.
Come on, make
and,
it plain for them.
and you want money. You
Yeah.
desire money.
Yes.
But desire is also the root of suffering.
Yes.
So don't stop desiring things
Right.
and become the things that you want,
Ooh,
and they will automatically come to you.
that's good right there, bro.
Right? So this is higher awareness thinking.
Yes.
Some people got it, some people ain't got it yet, right? And that's fine. And if you don't have it yet, that's perfectly fine. Work your way there and start changing the way that you see money.
Yes.
Start changing the way that you see yourself. Start changing the way that you present what you're offering.
Yeah.
And don't make it about the price. Make it about the value of how it can solve somebody's problem.
Right.
Actually, figure out how you can help people and solve their problem, and I guarantee you the money is going to come to you. People going to line up to give you money because you're going to have exactly what they need. So the question is, what do you have that people need?
Mm-hmm.
That should be your question to figure out how you can attract money, how you can bring it outside of yourself with the gifts that God gave you.
Yes.
Right?
Your gifts will make room for you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much for all
Yes.
this powerful wealth. Thank you for helping me build my wealth.
Yes.
And being part on a finance sector of what's going to be the biggest hub of healers in Atlanta.
Yes.
Right? That's going to be so connected with the people because we're doing the work.
Yes.
We're doing it with ourselves. We're doing it collectively.
Yes.
And that's automatically going to attract the abundance because
Right.
we have problems in our community that we're looking to solve.
Mhm.
And people are going to see the value in that. And that's going to
Exactly.
be enough alone.
It is.
So thank y'all for being a part of this journey, and we invite y'all along the journey for more experiences with us. Make sure y'all tap in with her. Let them know where they can find you. Let them know your websites, and let them know how they can book and take time with you to either advance their mindset to get better with money, or how they can actually acquire your services so they can fix their credit,
Mm-hmm.
understand trust,
Yes.
understand budgeting. How can they reach out to you?
Yes, well, again, my name is Candace Ramel, KandaceRamel on Facebook. On Instagram, I am Candy Red. That is KANDY_R3, the number 3, D901. If you type in Candace Ramel, you'll find me on Instagram as well. And the website is redrebel.com. That is R3DREBEL.com. I am the Red Rebel, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. As we go deeper into these podcasts, you will definitely see her again, but we'll go more in depth about more intricate things when it comes to finance.
Yes.
But today, we want you to just meditate and contemplate over the thought processes that it takes to acquire wealth and abundance. And what are you doing to be better in life? Thank you for joining us. Tap in with us at atlhealingcommunity.org and go spread love and peace.
Yes.
Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude.
Gratitude.